Hey guys, Troy Dooley, the Beachside CEO, and I hope that you've had a great week. I tell you what, the year is starting off phenomenal. Just got back from a beautiful trip to the Smoky Mountains, had a gymnastics event up in Knoxville. And I tell you what, it was fun. I just love our country. The United States has got some of the most unique land masses, unique cultures and subcultures that it's amazing. And then we walk into the gym, and I tell you what, I don't care what the media says about Gen Z, about the millennials. When I see these boys and girls that, they'll range from, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, all the way up to teenagers getting ready to go, out of high school into college. It is truly amazing to me at the dedication and the focus that they have. So it was powerful. But hey, I want to cover a couple of quick things here as we go into the weekend. A lot of people have all of a sudden started getting slammed with Zeek Rewards stuff, and they've been saying, Troy, is this legit? What do we do? Excuse me. What do we do? What's happened? And I want to cover this real quick. For you that don't know what Zeek Rewards are, you don't have to worry about this. Back in August 17th, 2012, Zeek Rewards was shut down at that time as the world's largest Ponzi scheme based on the amount of participants. Over 1 million participants were in that, close to $1 billion, maybe $1.3 billion, actually had come through the doors in about a 24-month period. Since that time, the original receiver, Kenneth Bell, has been appointed as a U.S. district judge out of Charlotte, Carolina. A new, what they call a successor receiver, Matthew Orgo, O-R-G-O, became the successor. Went through a lot of stuff. The original complaint, I don't want to call it the complaint. The original suggestion, which became part of the case by Kenneth Bell, I'm going to just use layman's terms here, was that he wanted the right to go after all net winners who had earned $1,000 or more. Now, the majority of the people in there truly did earn out a few bucks, $1,000 here, $1,000 there. There's probably, I'd probably say 700,000 people maybe. I'd have to go back and look at those notes, earned more than they paid in. And in this program, there's some people never put a dime in that actually earned out money because that was the way the program was set up. A lot of the high-end net winners who earned tens of millions of dollars have been fighting to protect their assets. There's about 100 net winners that I believe the successor receiver is now going after. They tried to appeal being able to go after their debt. Then they tried to appeal to be able to sell the debt of the net winners. Then they took it to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court denied it. The appeals court said, yes, they can sell off your debt. They can do whatever. So that brings us up to where we're at. Now, you can get most of this information at Zeek Rewards Receivership.com. That's Zeek Rewards Receivership.com. You can get all the updates all the way back to the very beginning. I really commend the receivers over here for keeping this up to date. It's very good. Here's the most current announcement. This came out January 9th, 2020. Announcement from Matthew Orso. I said Orgo. It's Orso. O-R-S-O. I should have had my glasses on. As previously announced, the United States District Judge Graham Mullen issued an order approving the sale of the vast majority of the judgments entered against net winners in the net winners class action case. They had filed the receiver had filed a class action case against all net winners. There was a significant delay in the sale that occurred due to the appeals by the net winners to the United States Supreme Court. Recently, the Supreme Court denied the request, and on December 17, 2019, the sale of the judgments closed pursuant to the terms of the approved agreement. Now, it was sold to an organization called Nationwide Judgment Recovery. This organization had planned maybe years ago, but at least months in advance, to buy this debt. When you go and you look at their website, we're going to put this up in the blog post. They followed, they have lots of videos, they have all kinds of stuff up there about Zeek Rewards. They now have a new banner for the net winners, okay, because they want that. Now, Nationwide Judgment is owned by Blue Sky Research Bureau. They're another debt collection agency out of Salt Lake City, I shouldn't say that, they're out of Utah. As of this point, the receiver of Zeek Rewards is no longer part of if you're a net winner, no longer part of your situation. You're gone. You're out. The receiver's not going to come after you, except for there's 100 net winners that he's still working on, still going after. I'm going to assume right now, I've got to go look at documents. I'm going to assume those are the top of the heap. Those folks have been fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting to keep their money. I'm going to assume that's what they're still doing, is fighting that. Some of them left the country. Some of them are in the United States. But for the net winners in the United States, they have sold off the debt. Now, let's go over here and look at the actual exhibit. This is from the court. There were 700,000 participants, over 700,000 participants, who lost $700 million in the scheme. So you had a million participants, 1,200,000, 1,300,000, something like that participants. They have determined that 700,000 participants lost $700 million in the scheme. This is worldwide. Majority of that money has been paid back. I mean, they really did go after. They were able to disperse a substantial amount of that money. Really commend the receiver in this case. I mean, that law firm earned millions of dollars from this, but truly he put the work in. He did what he had to do. I thought that was commendable. Let's look at this for a minute. I want to go down to where it literally talks about more amount, what this sale actually accomplishes. There was an amount here. I want to go down to maybe in the amendments down below. Let's look. Just bear with me, guys. Sorry about this. This is a long exhibit, so I want to make sure I get this right. Okay, here it is right here. This is the total judgment out of. Well, if there were 700,000 who lost money, let's say 300,000 to 500,000 that earned money, the amount or what was purchased by this nationwide judgment was the total judgments of 6,638. Those are going to be the lowest end. If the judge said it was okay for them to go after anyone who had $1,000 or more, these are going to be the people at the bottom end that they were not able to get. The money wasn't there. The money was spent. Could be people even lower than 1,000 if it's just a full-blown class action lawsuit. Total unpaid balance that this 6,000 represents, okay, was $178,594,710.50. The purchase rate was 0.05, which means that Nationwide is paying $10 million to gather potentially $178 million. From a business transaction, I mean, that's pretty good. You know, that's what they're doing. But where does that leave you guys? If you're classified a net winner, now Nationwide is going to come after you. Here's what you need to do. You need to look at each of your you got to go and you've got to look at each of the state laws in which you live. Because if this has been sold off and now it's a debt and they're trying to collect that debt, you want to protect your credit report. You want to make sure this isn't going on your credit report somewhere. Number two, you want to know what the state laws are in your state. Some states, state of Florida, certain debt is like 5 years. Some debt is 7 years. Okay, the fact that the U.S. government and the receiver has stated we can't collect this money Now a private agency is going to try to collect this money. They're going to use scare tactics. They'll probably do anything that they can. They're going to send, a matter of fact, we've already gotten letters sent where they're scaring people. So you want to protect yourself. What happened at Zeek Rewards truly, because they were a client. I was there. You guys can read on the internet. We've got it on our websites. I settled for an infraction with the SEC because I was on Tom Chenault's radio show and did not disclose that they were a client. So I paid a fine for that. The attorneys paid for everyone that was involved in this thing, trying to work with it, trying to turn it around, trying to do some stuff, all paid a price for this. So there's a lot of you guys that they weren't able to collect money from. They're coming after. You can find this all out. Again, this is going to be, if you want to go look at the website, it's nationwidejudgmentrecovery.com. Once you get to the website, you'll see where it says Zeek Rewards. You'll see where it says net winners. If you go to the net winners, now this is a little bit, well, no, this is just a bold face play on words, because when you go to the net winners where it says click and see what's going on, it says Nationwide Judgment Recovery has been assigned the rights to the judgments obtained against the Zeek Rewards net winners. They weren't assigned anything. They paid $10 million to have the right to come after and to collect. So it wasn't like the judge just said, okay, here you go, we're going to assign it over to you. This was a matter of they purchased this debt because it was non-collectible. At least the receiver decided it was non-collectible. It was going to cost the estate more money to go after it than it was just to sell it off. So out of that $178 million, the receiver figured maybe they would collect $10 million of it. And they settled. That's how they sold this thing out. So it goes on to say, if you're a net winner in the Zeek Rewards case, we would like to hear from you. You don't have to call anybody. I would not tell you to call anybody. This is now a debt. They want to collect as much as they can. You need to, at the very minimum, you need to blow it off. At the maximum, you could go to, I'll tell you someplace you could go. You could go to Thompson Burton, because Burton, the partner of Thompson Burton, he's a receivership attorney. Matter of fact, before he and Kevin Thompson connected and went together, I was sending him Zeek Rewards net winners. They were able to work out cases and work this out. So I would strongly suggest that you contact Thompson Burton or some other SEC receivership attorney who can handle this for you. Talk to them. But at the very, very least, you just don't do anything at all. You haven't done anything this long. You need to double check in your state, double check what's going on. But this is a lot of scare tactics. I don't like collection agencies. I'm in no way, shape, or form making light of what happened at Zeek Rewards, period. I had my eyes blinded. Others had their eyes blinded. There was certain stuff that was not disclosed. But when it comes to the average rank and file member who earned less than $1,000, I don't care if you earned, 15,000 over a year's time, that's still so minimal that it's just not right. Period. End of conversation. You can't use scare tactics with people trying to go out there and collect debt. Tell them that the judge said this. And anytime I go to a website and I can honestly see where this is that they're playing on words, I think it hurts the consumer. I think it hurts you guys. So you need to look at this. Just like I said, contact your attorney. Look at your state, do your due diligence. Do not contact them until you've talked to somebody. That's my suggestion. What they know is they're going to send all these scary letters out. They're going to send them out to 6,000 people. The odds are they're going to collect more than $10 million the way they do this. Then they'll start calling people. As soon as they got all the updated information, they're going to start jamming this on the phone, and I just think that's wrong. Something that is important, though, we're starting to see a lot of reboots right now, I think, with what's happened in the crypto space. The mining space, BitClub network has just been hit by regulators. OneCoin, some of these other smaller scams that are out there. Now we started to see somebody has bought the Telex free URLs. They're out here promoting that Telex free is back better than ever. Telex free was a Ponzi no matter where it goes. That was a reboot from the Zeek Rewards days. People went to prison. People hid millions of dollars. It was wrong. Every country I know of out there sees these things as Ponzi schemes. So guys, stay away from that. Be cautious. Be careful. Again, I know there's people that are classified net winners. I know Zeek Rewards was a Ponzi scheme. But don't fall prey to these predatory collection agencies. If the receiver for the U.S. government for the estate of Zeek Rewards has said it's going to cost us too much money to go after this, they've already gotten back. I don't think anybody's not been paid back now. Then what you want to do is you want to get with legal counsel. You want to know what your consumer rights are in your state, and you want to protect yourself now. That's the way I see this. Hey, live life like it's an epic adventure. Have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you next week.